PSA. Motherfucking PSA. Public service announcement to you niggas, please.
Hi, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Naughty Corner. Calling all our rebels to the hottest spot on the block. Welcome. If you're new, you're gonna have a good time. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. As always, please subscribe. Yes. Before this video starts.
Yes.
As you can see by today's title, we are talking about some rebelling, some non-conformist ways.
Yes.
I myself would like to think of myself as someone who doesn't conform. It's still working. I'm still doing it.
It's in the process. Yeah.
We are going to be talking about rebelling against cultural norms or traditional norms. So, just to break it down, what is rebelling? What is being a rebel?
Being a rebel is going away from the crowd, away from the sheep.
I like that.
Rebelling is not being a sheep.
The sheep.
Essentially, it's having your own mind, your own
Yes.
thoughts, your own opinions, your own way of doing things. Rebelling is following whatever is right for you and not what everyone's telling you to do.
Not what the culture is saying.
Not what society is saying.
Yes. And I think one of the biggest topics we can begin on when it comes to rebelling against cultural norms or traditional norms is first and foremost in the culture. What is the most popular thing in culture? Fashion.
Definitely.
We are expressive through our fashion as human beings, and you want to stand out. You want to look good.
Yes.
You want to, be unique. You want them to know that, hey, Candy looks snatched yesterday. And I think for me, fashion wasn't always like that. And it wasn't always like that because mainly I was very boring. Very boring sense of fashion. But it wasn't like bad. Like, don't come for me. It wasn't bad. But I like to think that my fashion sense when I was like 18 younger was kind of mid. And I didn't get used to wear random things. But I think I found my confidence in my fashion when I started, going into varsity and exploring. First year was horrible because I was like, what were those outfits? When I think back of first year, oh my gosh.
Like, what was I doing?
What was I doing? I threw away them jeans and those tops, and I chose to be a minimalist babe. And I know most of you are going to be like, but that's a conformist fashion style. Everything is to the T, but it is just essentially you finding your personal style.
And your own identity.
And I think I really found my fashion sense as I grew up and chose what I like, what I didn't like. How did you maybe find your fashion sense first and foremost? And what are some of the ways that you think you rebel against fashion norms?
Well, firstly, I feel like fashion really is a form of self-expression.
Yes.
It is a way for people to really give others a look into who they are.
Yes.
This is me.
That's a good one.
You already kind of know who I am based on how I'm dressed.
First impression.
Yeah, it's really a very first impression thing. And I feel like for me personally, I've always been a rebel in terms of fashion. Even shopping with my mom, she'd be like, do not fucking pick that. I'm like, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? Even if she didn't understand why I wanted something, or like sometimes after I'm done dressing, she's like, I'm not sure. I'm like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't need your opinion, essentially. That was my way in rebelling when it did come to fashion. Even growing up, as I said, going with mom to the mall, she'd be like, don't take this.
Even from a young age.
Yeah, I want this. I like this. I need this. You know what I mean? I can see you get what I mean.
It's such a
I feel like I want this, I need this, I'm getting this. I don't care if you don't like it, I want it, I'm gonna wear it.
Yeah.
And I feel like with our generation, we are very much an expressive generation.
We are.
I am so
generation
I
to
love
be
going
in.
on social media and just seeing everyone's insane
Especially
fashion
now.
looks. Oh, I'm obsessed, guys.
Yeah,
Wow.
eating it up. You guys are. Wow. What is it?
Well
Making
done.
a girl run for its money.
Yeah, making us run for our money.
Yes. Like, damn. Need to go clear some carts.
Yeah, so I feel like already our entire generation is really rebelling as a whole.
Yes.
Fashion-wise.
Yeah.
We're so comfortable in a mini skirt. We're so comfortable as maybe women dressing more masculine, or as men dressing more feminine. It's such a strong, powerful statement we're sending out into the world and the old generations. For them, they probably cannot even imagine what is going on. You get what I mean? It probably seems so like,
what are they doing?
are you guys on drugs or something? Maybe some of us are. It's so far-fetched for them. The idea of being able to express yourself so much and so freely.
Yes, and definitely what you're touching upon like our generation being so more expressive and whatnot. I did touch on like me being a minimalist, but that's not like in my entirety fashion sense, which is something I like. I remember the time when we had that conversation of we never know what we're going to pull up in, which is so exciting.
Exactly.
We could have a different aesthetic today, a different aesthetic tomorrow, and the next, and the next, and the next.
I can be a brunch girl today and a hippie tomorrow.
You know what I mean?
And a lady on Friday.
Exactly. Like, I can whip it up, and I think that's a sort of rebelling way, because a lot of people maybe used to think that I have to just wear jeans because I like jeans. Or I have to, wear the same thing.
Stick to the one style, one niche.
Yeah, so I do really like, as you had mentioned, that our generation is so explorative that people like trying different things.
Yes.
And it's so fun to see. It's
Kudos,
so
guys.
fun to see.
It is.
And
Definitely.
in a way of rebelling in fashion, what would you like the next thing to be in our generation that we can rebel against? What would you like? I'm also thinking one actually.
I feel like for me, one thing I actually also want to tap into more is more of a androgynous style. I love when we are now breaking the barriers between gender.
Yes.
That's something I'm pushing for more. I want to see more men in skirts. I want to see more girls in suits. I'm loving the suit trend on the red carpet.
Yes.
To think that a couple of years ago, women were not even allowed to wear suits on red carpets is insane. Whereas now it's such a thing, and I'm obsessed. I am very much obsessed. So for me, essentially more androgynous styles and us really not conforming to our genders only when it comes to like fashion and passing and breaking those barriers.
I get that. And then for me, I think way I would like to see us rebel more in fashion is not chasing fast fashion. Stick to your voice. Stick to what you like. I am so mad that pumps are back in and I threw out my pumps. Those shoes were comfortable.
Tell me about it.
People make fun of.
Yeah.
Imagine you when it's all glossy and you be like, why are you wearing those jelly pumps? And those things were the most comfortable things. And so adorable. So stick to your voice when it comes to fashion. Do what you want to do because it recycles. Fashion recycles.
Definitely.
So stick to your voice.
Yeah.
And,
if you're still wearing wedges, wear wedges.
Yes.
If you're still wearing those knee-high sneakers, wear them. Because they're coming back now, apparently. You get what I mean?
I need to check their bag, actually, because I want to see how much they are.
Do not follow the sheep. Stick to your style. If they don't like it, fuck them.
Exactly. And another way, I think, rebelling is, making its way into our culture, our traditions, and, everything is so different now when it comes to religion, faith, and what people follow, what people choose to believe, and our idea of God, church, belief, religion, culture, habit is
whole shebang.
Changing. Can you please enlighten us in your walk of faith, what you ascribe to when it comes to your faith, and what is, I guess, the anchor of your life, and how, if you've rebelled, if you have rebelled. And bring it to us.
I feel like in terms of what everyone's norm, I am maybe on the outskirts. So I'm guessing that is rebelling.
Emphasis. Clarify norm.
Norm, yeah.
Since religions are so many. There's 10,000 religions.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
But in terms of growing up in a Christian areas and, personally, I do believe in God, but I've never really felt a connection to an actual church, and that is something that already was very much prominent for the both of us at a very young age. That what's going on here? I mean, I can talk to the big guy when I'm on my own, but
What is happening?
This situation is not clicking. You get what I mean? It's not clicking. So I feel like for me, a big form of rebelling, I guess I'll say that,
Rebels.
is not going to church.
Yeah.
Yet I do pray. From time to time I will watch maybe a sermon online, but also that
Very
gets
seldom.
repetitive.
Yeah.
So for me, rebelling in terms of normal religious tradition is being able to identify and have a relationship with God in my own way and how that looks like for me. And I feel like that also really was gonna happen because already from a young age, the church me and my sister were in, we didn't really get what was going on. It was very double standards in terms of men and women. Men were sitting on chairs, women were sitting on the floor. Women were meant to cover up and wear headscarves and don't show skin essentially, whereas men could wear anything. So already with that, I was like, whoa, there are also these weird standards in churches. There are also these weird dynamics and weird power plays at hand. So us from a very young age telling our mom, you know what, we don't really want to go to this church anymore, was a very big step in rebelling at like 13 and whatever, at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
And what does that look like for you? Thinking back to that time, or essentially everything.
I think the funny part is that she basically said everything because her sister, so I can't say more. It's like the same life when it comes to church.
Yeah.
So verbatim.
How does it feel like? It's
Verbatim. I guess essentially I'm gonna be very honest and say that I knew God through my parents and I knew who God was through my parents. I personally didn't have a relationship with God only up until I actually went to varsity and I was 19. I knew God as a figure that we're supposed to look up to and, you know, cry to, cheer to, you know, I knew that this is God, these are the rules, do this for God. That was it. But when I discovered my personal relationship with God, it was outside of high school where I had to, you know, find my own identity. So in what she had mentioned, us being younger and having to go to church because mom says so or dad says so, it was very difficult to understand why we had to do it.
No one ever explains.
And it was frustrating as a child because you're just dragged to church every Sunday. Every Sunday you literally probably dread that, oh, Sunday is coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to church because I don't know what's going on. And most of the times we, I think, fail to also incorporate church into home. Yeah. I would like to think that people are trying now to incorporate those things, but I think back then and in Black culture, I'm not sure about white people because I'm not white, but in African cultures, church is Sunday, then we move on with life. We don't speak about God any other time. Not that we're not allowed to, but we just don't. We just use it to, I guess, strengthen us when we need to pray, when we need to go sleep, when we need to eat. But aside from that, we don't speak about God.
Yet it's expected on a Sunday. We gotta go.
We gotta now open this book. So it was a lot of mixed feelings and, you know, just asking, what are we doing this for? And as parents, they were also supposed to be like, because we have to. I think there's so much, I don't want to say secrecy. What's a better word? Like, I want to say there's so much not saying a lot when it comes to faith, religion, and us just conforming to things. It's just expected. It's an expected thing. And it's a generational thing. I would guess that our grandmother would have the same reasons as to we have to. No one understands why. And something that really stood out to me was when we watched Caroline Mice, check her out. She spoke about how crazy it is that how people view God now in this day and age is changing so much. They never used to question that. I think she's like in the late 60s or 70s. They never used to question those things. So I think the frustration came with that because we are of a different age and a new age. And I guess that's why those questions arose in us, because we are of a different time. So it was really hard for me to understand why we had to go to church. And as Kenny has mentioned, we've rebelled. It's not like, you know, we're like, yeah, no, we're not going. We just don't feel a connection.
Yeah, and it's okay, guys. It happens. Yeah. Because personally, God is not a building. You get what I mean? The fact that a pastor says he's everywhere, I don't need to come here then. That's what I'm hearing. You get what I mean? That's what I'm hearing.
God is everywhere. I can see God in my fridge there.
I don't need to come here. It's okay. So now, also in understanding that breaking the tradition or the norm of this is what a relationship with God is supposed to look like is important in terms of finding what it looks like for you. If you do find community in church,
do it.
Lucky you.
Some people have beautiful relationships.
Yeah, they enjoy it. It's beautiful for them. It's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are someone who's like, you know what, I still do want a relationship with God, or whatever religion you resonate with, but you want to be at the comfort of your own home or in your own way. You want to go outside on Sunday and take Sunday walks and maybe talk about it. Or you want to go on Sunday picnics and whatever. Do it for you.
Yes.
It will work.
I was about to say something. Better. It's juicy. We're going to talk more about this topic on a later episode. So tune in, because I was about to ask you something, but I'm going to ask you later.
Okay.
So we can remember.
Yeah.
So subscribe.
Subscribe,
so
guys.
You can know when that episode drops. But yes, when it comes to faith-based stuff, that was the one thing that we had to do for ourselves personally, and choose that we're going to follow God in our own way, in a way that is going to enrich us, because we also do have conversations about God.
Yes.
And we talk about how we feel, and
we constantly also ask other questions.
Asking questions.
And I like that, because it also
learning.
is us challenging each other.
Yes.
And being to see, okay, but I don't feel what you feel. Why do you feel that? Or how do you see this?
Yes.
Or how do you interpret this thing? So I feel like that's also something that I encourage in terms of rebelling for yourself. Questions.
Definitely.
Ask questions.
Question everything.
Yes, guys.
Question
How
everything.
else are you supposed to know?
And this ties in so well to the next prompt, because one thing about religion and faith, it has sort of had pressure on, following the right path. And that does lead into the perfect life. Oftentimes people see people who don't follow any faith or religion as not having a perfect life. And there's no such thing as a perfect life. Let's start there. But the perfect life, social pressure that is around all of us is a lot, and it comes with a lot of expectations, which I'm sure a lot of us are tired from. And I think each and every one of you can find something in your life where you've rebelled against that image of the perfect life. How did you feel when you realized that the perfect life isn't a thing? And how did you rebel against that, and also reclaim your power and understanding that this is your life and you're going to move, the best way you can?
I mean, even in terms of that, as you say, social media does put like a lot of pressure in terms of Pilates, matcha, what a flower shop, girls. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let me go to the Pilates studio on Monday, but I don't feel like doing the rest of the week. Or like, maybe matcha kind of sucks. And it's okay. Whereas now,
down in the comments. Who thinks matcha is delicious?
I still haven't tasted it, so I'll see. I'll come
You
back
need to try
with
it.
feedback. But you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
now, like we're saying, the norm, I do want to try matcha now. Because
Yes.
I'm seeing everyone is trying matcha. And it's like, I never even used to know about this thing. Because now it's popular
Yes.
and it's trendy. My sheep ass wants to go try it out.
Girl, if a standee was 10 rand, I would have bought it.
Exactly.
But she is
She
expensive.
is. For a cup,
It's very expensive. But exactly, the sheep mentality. It's so easy to be pulled into it, because FOMO, fear of missing out, is the biggest thing we're all suffering from in whatever.
Another one.
Yeah.
How me and my sister are personally rebelling, and both of us personally, you can do Pilates at home.
Guys,
Go on YouTube. You will find someone who's a Pilates instructor at your own home. You don't need to go to a class and pay ridiculous amounts of money when you cannot afford it.
move with Nicole.
Live below your means, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, not above them.
Yeah, below.
If it's something you cannot afford, do not do it outside of pressures and outside of feeling like you want to be an it girl. That is not being an it girl. An it girl looks different for everyone.
Exactly.
That's also something I did also kind of feel in terms of social media.
Yeah.
Feeling the pressure of, I'm going to post this picture because I don't have enough makeup. Or I'm not wearing a wig. Or my outfit's kind of boring. But it's like, for who?
Yes, and we
That
had
is
long discourse.
Girl.
We had a long discourse with that.
Girl.
And emphasis on live below your means. Because you shouldn't now be going outside of yourself and whatever whatever morals or values you hold to yourself. I'm not saying, societal values, whatever you hold to yourself. You're not supposed to go against yourself to go get things that do not mean anything to anybody else. People don't care, guys. People do not care.
Someone will
It's
see it,
crazy.
like it, they forgot about it.
Yeah, like every time, sometimes I wish it was more louder in my head, but those moments when I get wait, Do I remember XYZ outfit? No, I don't. So why do I care if you have that thought in your head? Always think, did I think about this person today?
No.
That's how it is for them too.
Because everyone's dealing with their own shit.
Yes.
Life is stressful enough.
Girl.
No one's thinking about you.
And it's so crazy. It's like low-key egotistical of us humans.
It is. It very much is.
Think people are thinking about us. It's like, honey, I've got a lot to do.
No one cares.
Yes.
No one cares.
So in chasing the perfect life or societal pressures, I think I may have rebelled in accepting that this is my life. Because I feel like acceptance is also something that is...
It's the first step to anything.
It's the first step
to change also.
Yes.
Actual change.
Yes.
I mean, guys, the Lulu, sometimes not the only Salulu.
You won't hit a pole. And like stop sign, not the other pole. That'd be so funny. You go hit a pole. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think in me accepting where I am in life and seeing the beauty around it, seeing why I am here and how I can navigate that, and just giving myself grace and just being, okay, that's rebelling. Because if it weren't for me accepting, I'd, push, force. I'm not dating. I've never dated. But I'm not gonna now run and find a man to marry because I need to be married at 28, 27. No. Me, I'm rebelling and I'm gonna choose myself.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna choose what is right for me in the right time for
right
me.
Time.
Your path is your path.
And anything can happen at any age.
Else's.
So I had a time where Janet Jackson had a baby at 50.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I'm loving this.
So this whole also perfect life in terms of the pressure we put on ourselves as men and women, that at a certain age, I need to be married. Oh, baby needs to come now. Oh, I need to have a house now. Oh, I need to have a car. Okay, other way around, but yeah. Apparently, other way around.
Add a job to that too.
And a job.
Yes.
That also too, guys. Take time. Find something that you love.
Yes.
Explore things. Try out different jobs. Literally.
The best thing
Shock
to do.
yourself like with any skill you have.
Yes.
Make sure that you also pick something that also fulfills you, because so many adults are stuck in careers where they aren't even happy
And that's so
or
sad.
aren't fulfilled. So make sure you take your time. If your friends are already working a corporate job, good for them. If you're still figuring it out, good for you. Things will happen at their own time.
And even with what you're saying now, I almost wanted to say that's the best thing to do in your 20s. It's the best thing to do whenever, guys. Life has no timeline.
At all.
Life has no timeline. The fact that people in their 30s can say my life is just starting now, or people from 40 can say the same thing, just means that follow your path. If your path is your path, you will, explore it the best way. So don't put pressure on yourself.
Yeah, and do not let social media fool you. People never speak about the struggle. People never speak about how long it took to get to certain places. So I feel like we need to stop comparing ourselves to social media pressures, because they are showing you the happiest glimpse and happiest split second of their life.
And do you think there'd be a way for us to shift that, or I guess we're too stuck in our wanting to show perfection on social
There definitely
media?
is, and that is on looking for influencers and creators who do show honesty. And I personally do follow a bunch of them, and it's what also really helped in me breaking down the pressure I also put on myself.
Especially with body positivity. I'm loving people who are open and honest about those things. Because oftentimes you're just there judging yourself for imperfections that are not imperfections, things that are you, based on someone editing something.
Yes.
And but I hope in the future, it changes. It changes.
Ultimately.
I hope it changes, because we really need support as human beings, man. We really need to support each other and show each other that, you know what, I'm here, but this is what it took for me to get here.
Honesty.
Yeah, and you don't owe anybody that, but I think also that will come with everyone being vulnerable. Oftentimes you feel as though we can't be vulnerable because it seems like, I'm not being cool.
Yeah.
Or I'm not fitting in. But trust me, vulnerability and relatability is going to
so important.
push you further.
It matters more than the perfection, as you're saying.
Yes.
That is what creates community and conversations and openness and growth. Ultimately, that's all you want, to grow constantly as humans.
Definitely.
So hopefully, as you're saying, things do take a change.
Yeah.
And be that change for yourself too.
Definitely.
I mean,
definitely.
if you're having a shitty day, it's okay. It's okay.
It's fine, hey?
Rebel
We'll be here.
Nothing changes.
We'll still be
Everything
here.
will still be the exact same way
Yes.
in the world.
Yeah.
So rebel by making sure that you're choosing yourself and you do things your way. You're posting what you want. You're showing what you want. The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes. And in the spirit of rebelling, even though I think this has existed since the beginning of the time,
definitely.
it is about your identity, who you love, who you choose to be, our space to be fully ourselves. And that is not conforming to traditional ways of partners, relationships, and finding love. I think now more than ever, we are pushing a movement of individuality and freedom. Nobody is being forced to be queer. People are just pushing a movement of individuality, a movement of choice.
Definitely.
The same way that I guess society chose heterosexual relationships for us, we are finding ways to choose ourselves in those heterosexual relationships or homosexual relationships.
Or no relationships. That's not the truth.
We are choosing, thank you for that, we are choosing what we want for ourselves, which extends to how we, relate to the world and our partners. Please let me know if you've conformed to something that doesn't belong to you, or if you have freedom to be whoever you want to be. But what's your take on that?
Well, my take on that is, as a pansexual, I am very blessed enough to have been able to even let my loved ones know about this, and also have friends who are queer and part of the LGBTQ spectrum.
Yes. Umbrella.
And the umbrella, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To allow me to be open enough to express that part of me and recognize that part of me, that realizing that, you know what, I actually do like people for liking people.
Yes.
Despite your gender, despite what you identify as, I am a soul connector.
Yes, I connect to you.
So with that also, it was such a monumentous thing for me, also in terms of watching other queer series and shows how much other people had to struggle. And they were rebelling back then.
Girl,
harder than we are right now.
We are living in glorious times.
Very much so. It's still very bad, but with the shows you've watched, definitely do watch Pose if you are a queer person. It will open up your mind. But they were rebels to a core, having to fight to have a presence, having to fight for space, having to fight for, no, stop telling me who I am, this is who I am, having to fight for respect, and having to fight for being seen, basically.
Yes.
So I feel like being able to be queer is a way for me to rebel from the norm of expecting me to have a husband, expecting me to, not be with a woman, be with anyone else at that point. So I feel like even in terms of the time we're in right now, it's very crucial for us to be comfortable in our identities.
Exactly.
And knowing what you like. If you like everything, you like everything. If you like men, you like men. If you like women, you like women. If you like non-binary people, you like non-binary people. If you identify as a certain person, being comfortable to identify as that certain person. You hear what I mean?
I hear that.
And how is that been like for you in terms of identity and the space and time we're in?
I think for me, this is also maybe news to you now, because even you just speaking about that, it just shed light in how you need to take your own time in finding your path. I am part of the rainbow community, but as of today, I do not know how I identify as of yet.
And that's okay.
Because I feel as though I'm allowed to explore and I'm allowed to also look in and understand.
Have a label also.
Yeah,
you're allowed to not have a label, guys. Also, hey,
and not have a label, because I feel as though there's so much in life, guys. So much goes on, so much goes on. So now we're also learning how to uncondition ourselves of so many things that have been put on us, social expectations, marital expectations. We're learning to shed so much currently, And in shedding comes new identity. And I can't also fully say that I am straight when I find myself being attracted to other people. People who do not identify in that same spectrum. And finding connections with people who are not heterosexual men and enjoying their presence and understanding who they are and liking who they are. So I think even with what you said, the best way is to just be me and be fully present in who I want to be. And I think
will come.
Yeah, that is very rebellious of our generation because man, women, marriage. That was it for them back then.
Yeah.
You had no choice.
At all.
You could not decide. It was even worse for women. You were told that this man is going to be your husband. Now I have the option to even choose if I want to be with a man, if I want to be with a woman, or if I want anybody at all. So I think I rebelled in a sense of wanting to explore and firstly explore myself. I'm very adamant on that, and I don't know, maybe a spokesperson, maybe there's some vanity to it or some ego torn into it, but I will never downplay how much I need to know myself or how much I need to get to know myself.
And that's so crucial because without that, then what the fuck is happening in
Yeah.
your life? You should obviously then question, wait, who am I around?
Yes.
What space am I going to if you do not know yourself?
Everything operates from source.
Yeah, it all starts here. Everything in your life, whatever's happening, it all starts here.
Yes.
Essentially, to some big part of it, it all starts here.
Yes.
So knowing yourself is a very, very crucial step in fixing everything else or understanding why certain things are happening or why certain people are in your space.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. And I think another thing to also like outline in terms of rebelling is also choosing people who are going to accept you and accept your friends, your family. Please do not be around people who do not accept your queer friends. Do not be around people who see them as lesser than. As a human being, what goes on in someone's love life and personal life should be the least of your worries. Focus on yourself and deal with yourself. Everything you do for other people has to come from a space of kindness. It costs nothing to be kind to someone. So if someone goes out of their way to project a certain negative energy towards others, remove yourself from it. As Hannah has mentioned, if you are not okay, what can be okay in your life? So really rebel in choosing what is right for you.
Yes.
Choosing what looks good for you.
And I like what you said, the friend thing also.
Yeah.
Understand that. Rebel also, and if you are in a space where you are not really connecting with your family, you can make up your own family.
Yeah.
Friends can be family.
Yes.
Whoever you surround yourself with can be family.
Chosen family.
So don't also feel the pressure of having to submit or having to always follow your parents' lead. Rebel against that if it is something that is making you go against yourself or making you sad, making you depressed, or it's just putting you in a very uncomfortable environment and space. Rebel and pick yourself. Eventually you will surround yourself with people who do love you and respect you just for who you are.
Yes.
And also with what you said, I like that you said you're still figuring things out. Also, rebel and also not having to put a label on yourself.
Yes.
If you are someone who doesn't really know what you like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to put a label on yourself.
Literally.
If one day you pop up with a man, you're with a man.
You're with a man.
If tomorrow you're with a woman, you are with a woman.
Yes.
No one can make you feel shame of expressing yourself and loving who you love.
Yes.
You do not feel the pressure of having to have a label. So saying, what are you? What are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm human.
You're human.
First and foremost.
You're a human with love.
Yes.
And who just wants to give this love to others.
Yes.
And that's all that matters.
Yes. And we can put like 2 points of another form of rebelling for ourselves. I want to also really prompt people to rebel against being, is it awkward? Yeah, wait, if you rebel, you move away from it.
Yes.
Okay. Rebel against being perfect. Rebel against wanting to be perfect in other people's eyes. Be vulnerable, share your stories, speak up, share things that are, true to you and things that speak to you. Share them with pride because there are people out there who probably think like you. The fact that it's out there means that there are people who think like you and see things like you. And rebel against not speaking up. This is a big one for me and Candy because in the last few months or just our lives and growing as young women, we have realized that we have to have a voice. Don't let men silence you
Don't let
into
anyone silence you also.
being weird with you. And the only reason I also just say men is just that it's experiences we've been going through, but definitely anyone. Do not let people silence you. If you feel uncomfortable, speak up. Stand up for yourself, because if you don't, no one will. Do not let anybody treat you like a walking nomad. Don't do that to yourself. Treat yourself with respect, and you will demand that same respect from others. Yeah.
And
What about you?
my last point, if it makes sense, rebel against comfortability also. I feel like it's very important to really push ourselves out of our comfort zones as people, because growth happens in the most unexpected places.
Definitely.
My biggest fear for me is staying the exact same person I am today.
Yes.
Every day I'm hoping I am changing whatever way, be it a small change, be it a big change.
Yes.
So rebel against complacency and comfortability. The big C's.
Following the line. The big C's.
The big C's. Rebel against those to figure out who you are and know what you want. And also against not being comfortable in your own identity, however that is. Whatever you like you said. Just because something is what is getting people's attention, and that's not something that you resonate with. Don't feel like you have to now be a different person. Don't feel like now you have to act like you enjoy this topic or you're interested in this thing. It's okay, whatever.
Be yourself.
I don't like it. Someone else who likes my boring ass shit will like my boring ass shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You'll find your crowd. That's the thing. Something also have realized that you'll find your crowd.
Yeah.
Your crowd will find you too.
Definitely.
In the most unexpected places and moments. So stop trying to fit in in places where you're not wanted. Because what's the use? Is it even worth it at that point? Essentially,
so
is it even worth it?
That's so true. Like, it's such a testament. And if anything, as Candy is mentioning about just choosing yourself, guys, so much power comes from choosing yourself.
Yeah,
because
self-worth is big.
It allows other people to do the same. Someone will literally come to you and be like, thank you. You've allowed me to also be comfortable with being this way, or exploring what I can be. Be you. Be you. There's nothing else I can say more than that, because essentially this is your life. We're trying to figure out who you are. The same way I'm trying to figure out who Candy is as a person is how she's trying to figure me out.
Till this day.
Till this day.
As sisters, she is forever changing and growing. I am forever changing and growing. I'm figuring it out. She's figuring it out. And we're here then to, out of love and respect for each other, be like, okay, who are you today? Let me know. And people will accept you. The right ones will. No matter what. People who are meant to be in your life will understand that you also do change and grow, and will allow you the space to change and grow.
Exactly.
So
definitely.
Stop also surrounding yourself with people who aren't allowing you to be your truest self.
Yes.
You'll find your fish.
You'll find them. You'll find them. And as always, rebels, we just want the best for you.
Yeah.
We just want you to think, to question everything, and to love yourself. If you can do those three things, you're well on your way to having a
happy
good
life.
and happy life.
However that looks for you.
Yes.
Not what people are telling you.
Definitely that. Before this video finishes, click that subscribe button. I can see you there.
We are waiting. We're watching. Guys, get us to 100 subscribers. Please.
That's right. Thanks.
Thank you.
I like that too. And copy that link and please share it with anybody that you feel will understand this video. Share with people that you know will like what you like, guys. They are there for you and they want to know about you. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of The Naughty Corner. Rebels, we love you as always. Thank you so much. Follow us on all our socials at The Naughty Corner on all platforms. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.